हेलो एवरीवन, नमस्ते एंड वेलकम टू कीप ऑन लर्निंग। तो आज हम जानेंगे उस टॉपिक के बारे में जो इंडिया में अभी सबसे चर्चा में है, दैट इज़ अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट। एंड क्या कोविड ही उसका मेन रीज़न है या फिर और कोई भी रीज़न है, उसके बारे में भी हम जानेंगे। एंड द सेकेंड थिंग कि इज़ दैट सो रियल दैट इंडियन इकोनॉमी इज़ एन एब्सोल्यूट क्राइसिस। वी विल ऑल्सो नो दिस इन द लेटर हाफ ऑफ द वीडियो। सो लेट्स नो फर्स्ट some statistics about the unemployment, because हम सिर्फ इतना ही जानते हैं कि इंडिया में अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट है, एम्प्लॉयमेंट बिल्कुल है ही नहीं, लेकिन कितना है, कितना परसेंटेज डिक्रीज है, कितना परसेंटेज इंक्रीज है, ये भी तो जानना ज़रूरी है। सो लेट्स नो सम स्टैट्स अराउंड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट इन इंडिया। So let's know some stats around unemployment in India. As we know that India's unemployment rate has been soaring and it went up to around 8% in December 2021 compared to previous 6%. In urban areas it is 9% and in rural areas it is 7%. So we can see that it is more in urban areas than the rural areas. And manufacturing sector too has lost 9.8 million jobs. Whereas on the other hand, agricultural jobs jumped by 7.4 million. This is because we all know that previous year laborers migrated from urban areas to rural areas. That's why agricultural jobs jumped and manufacturing sector jobs reduced. Not only the quantity but the quality of jobs is also at stake. That means the percentage of salaried people dropped from 21% to 19% in 2021. It means that 9.5 million people have left the salaries and become jobless or a part of the informal sector. And that too, informal sector has also shrunk. Employed population has also decreased from 408 million to 406 million. Before COVID, at a time, 10 million young Indians were entering the job market. And as we know that India is going to achieve its highest number of working age population in the coming years, so there is high need of employment in India. Otherwise, the age pyramid will also not help in the Indian economy. The India's labor force participation does not compare favorably with the emerging countries. According to the World Bank, it stood 46% in 2020 in India. That means only 46% of the population of India is contributing in the economy of India. Whereas for the other countries we can see in Brazil it is 59% and in Chile it is 57% and China it is 67%. Not only this, there are variations among the Indian states also. That means highest employment is in Haryana, that means 34%, and least employment is in Bihar. That means only 16% population of Bihar is contributing to the economy of India. And according to NSSO, in 2019, India had highest unemployment rate in the last 45 years. 63.4% of graduates falling in the age bracket of 20 to 24 years were unemployment. It is terrible to know that 63% of the young working population of a country is not contributing to the economy of that country. It is a huge loss for the country. And the COVID is not the only reason. There are some other reasons too, just like variation in gender. In women, unemployment rate is higher than men. In women, there is 14% of unemployment, whereas in men, there is 7% of unemployment. We can say that there is double the rate of unemployment in women that of men. Women willing to seek work in urban areas, 92% of them are not getting any work. And that ratio of the rural is 54%. मतलब कि जो लड़कियां जॉब खोज रही हैं करने के लिए, जो नहीं खोज रही है उनका तो परसेंटेज नहीं है यहाँ पे, जो खोज रही हैं उनको भी, उनमें से भी 92% को जॉब नहीं मिल रही है. एंड ये अर्बन एरियाज का परसेंटेज है एंड दैट इन रूरल एरियाज, गाँव में इसका परसेंटेज 54 है. Even though more and more women are attending school and colleges in the country, they are not getting job due to the lack of employment. There are two main reasons for the gender variation. Most women were involved in agricultural jobs in the rural areas, and the mechanization of these jobs has had a huge impact on the female labor force participation in the country. जैसे कि हम देख सकते हैं कि गांवों में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा महिलाएं एग्रीकल्चरल सेक्टर में पार्टिसिपेट करती हैं, और जबकि मशीनें नहीं थी तब जहां पे 10 महिलाएं काम कर सकती थी, मशीन आने के बाद वहां पे सिर्फ 2-3 महिलाएं काम कर रही हैं बस उस मशीन को चलाने के लिए. So in this way we can see that how the labor force participation is decreasing. And the second point is that India's manufacturing sector is not labor intensive, and this has made it difficult to compensate women who got displaced from the agricultural jobs. There has been a lot of discussions about how women's role as primary caregivers and ownership of domestic chores is a reason for the low participation of women in the workforce. The cultural norms and the deep-rooted patriarchy apparently limit women's labor force participation in India. And how we can reduce this unemployment? The employment scene will improve only if private investment picks up, and at the moment the situation is grim on that front. So next we will discuss about the Indian economy. In spite of having 2 years of continuous pandemic and increasing uncertainties, the economy of India has balanced itself very well throughout this pandemic. There are 5 tailwind factors that are expected to augment a sustained investment recovery. The first one is the improved asset quality of banks due to speedier recovery and adequate bank capitalization. Next, domestic demand is increasing, and that's so profitability is also increasing. The government sustained focus on reforms. Next, government is focusing on the reforms and public investments. And the foreign investors are also interested in India. And in the third quarter, we can see that there has been 37% surge in the export of India. So these are the silver lines which shows that our economy is not absolutely in crisis. And recently, the government has introduced the thrust of 76,000 crore plan to foster a semiconductor ecosystem to ease supply chain impediments and will begin to increase the size of economic pie over the next 5 years. And according to RBI, projection for fiscal year 2021 was 9.5%. But if we grow with the 9.2% also, this will also be beneficial for the Indian economy. Hopefully, on February 1, the Finance Minister will provision for more budgetary allocations to supercharge the economy instead of reining in fiscal deficit prematurely to less than the existing 6.8% of GDP. If so, in a post-COVID world order, despite the odds, India could be one of the sweet growth spots. And if so has been done, then in the post-COVID world order, despite the odds, India could be one of the sweet growth spots. So this is it for today, and we'll meet you soon with the next video. Thank you for watching, and if you like the video, then hit the like button and subscribe the channel. Thank you.